right, we are in just in time for our second semifinals. We almost missed it. This is the first map of SpeCial versus Cure. We had the Protoss, we had the Zerg, so we are in fact going to have a TvT final slate. We haven't had that in ESL Asia in a long time. Well, if you think the last time that happened was Dream vs Dongri Gu, but that was a couple of months ago.
I was about to say, I believe we had one, relatively recently where it was Cure versus Solar, and Cure just kind of buffed Solar pretty hard in the finals.
Did we have Cure versus Solar?
I believe there was one where Cure won like this year. I know
we had Cure versus Zest last week, but that was also after Cure was taking a bit of hiatus, I want to say.
Yeah, there it is. Cure versus not Solar, Cure versus Armani. It was in January.
There we go. There we go. So a couple of months. As we load into not a TvZ, but in fact a TvT semifinals down here in the bottom right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom right-hand corner of Def Aura LE, a blue Terran player coming down from the land of Guadalajara. He is the guardian of Guadalajara. He is going to be representing Team Exxon, but pardon me, also clan into the clan. He is SpeCial.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Death Aura LE, we have the South Korean Terran player. He is red. He is representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming DPG. It is Cure.
And we just saw Cure tear his way through Brad OK. But SpeCial, definitely a very different opponent coming out here. I mean, he's just beaten Maxed. And TVP was his worst matchup for a while, so now we're getting into a bit of a TvT, which is one of SpeCial's, I think SpeCial is still better in TvZ than TvT, but he's definitely a lot more comfortable here. He's got a lot of tricks up his sleeve. Cure, on the other hand, also a bit of a TvT specialist.
Yeah, I do think that this is probably a best case scenario for SpeCial. I do think that out of all his matchups, TvT are really what he can thrive in, especially against the Koreans. So we'll see what he can do here. I do favor him a little bit more than Brad OK's chances against Cure earlier today. But at the same time, I have to, of course, respect Cure as a player, and he is the favorite in this series. But again, we don't know. Like, SpeCial has been training these past couple of months. Like, we don't know what kind of form he is in going into the first season of GSL.
That we're about to find out over here. As well, players just doing pretty standard things, SpeCial opting for that Reaper expand. Cure going to be the player to go double Reapers.
Yeah, as Cure did go for that double gas earlier on, delaying his natural, getting that factory that little bit faster, looking to be, I imagine, a little bit more aggressive here. And yeah, pretty interesting by SpeCial, because last time Cure opened up like this, because he's relying on a couple of barracks units, he did throw down a bunker to be able to defend his natural. We'll see how SpeCial deals with these Reapers, as the CC does finish up in time, doesn't get delayed.
Just in time. I'm sure Cure is getting himself a little bit not being able to get that SCV. But it is all good in the end. He will have the Hellion advantage, actually dedicating a little bit more into the Reapers and Hellions. I thought this was just going to be a pretty normal double Reaper, single Hellion scouting force, but he is looking to get a little bit of harassment done.
That he is, and SpeCial has to be a little bit careful here. Actually opting to go for a Widow Mine instead.
Okay, pretty good defensive unit over here.
As long as it connects.
Might also have the, yes, like I said, connects. They're trying to use a little bit of friendly fire over here. Very good split right at the last second, but he did sacrifice his Hellion for it. And Hellions are really the unit that you want against Marines. But Cure, he's been able to whittle down the count enough that he's going toe-to-toe with the Reapers just in time for the reinforcements of SpeCial come in. So Cure, he got a little bit of damage done over here. He traded decently, but nowhere near the damage he wanted to get done.
Yeah, like Cure definitely came out ahead in terms of resources lost. Like he was able to trade what, 2 Hellions and 2 Reapers for a Widowmine and a bunch of Marines. Like that was absolutely insane, the micro that we saw from Cure. I'm sure he would have loved to have snowballed a little bit and gone into that mineral line, but SpeCial, because of his macro, because of his overall unit composition, he was able to just barely hold on, and the game will continue.
That it will. So no massive snowballs that turn into an avalanche as of yet. Both players still being fairly standard. Cure is going for the Banshee this time. I feel like he's doing this in honor of Brad OK.
Yeah, he took down his opponent and he was able to take some of his energy, take some of his play style, as we do see the Banshee getting ready to dive into the natural base. There are Marines and there is a Cyclone, so he does have to be careful. Cloak was not and will not be researched. It is just a lone Banshee.
And I'm looking at he's being very, very patient about it. Just waiting for SpeCial really move out so he can use that Banshee to really just stretch his opponent's attention here. And if he doesn't, then, well, he's going to get some free SCV kills.
Yeah.
Really good spotting with that Reaper. He knows that SpeCial is moving across that map, so he goes over his Banshee, and he steps up back at home.
Exactly. Like, the most important thing that he saw was, oh, the Cyclone's across the map. Nice, let's go in. You know, like, without the Cyclone for defense, this Banshee can deal so much more damage, even pick off these 2 Marines. He does have to respect that Raven, though. Has to be careful from that auto turret.
Yeah, auto turret to the absolute last nightmare for the Banshee right now.
Oh,
but it is only one available for him, and he pulls back the entire army. Nicely done for Cure.
Exactly, everything was pulled back home to defend. The Cyclone finally does show up, and the Cyclone with a lock-on should clean this up.
There we have it. So again, not quite what Cure wanted to get done with that Banshee, but it's still a net positive for him. He loses that Banshee, but he delays SpeCial's push for quite some time. He has enough time now. He finished up his 3rd tank, and he's getting even more. Stim is going to be on the way a lot sooner than it will be for SpeCial. And he's double Raven working on the Vikings.
Yeah, that he is. And again, like, now Cure, he's able to establish his 3rd base with 3 tanks. He can defend it quite easily. But that's also why SpeCial is aware of this, and he is going for a bit of a drop, looking to try and sneak past this Marine. And he will sneak past, looking to go straight into the main. Oh, but the Cyclone...
that Marine was just a little bit closer to the left. There is a Cyclone in position. Best case scenario for SpeCial is he's able to drop those every single one of those Marines and just sacrifice a medevac for it. Worst case scenario, he loses way too much.
Oh, that he does. Meanwhile, SpeCial is setting up for a multi-prone, try and maybe divert the attention of Cure over here to the right-hand side and allow his drop to go in, and the drop does go in.
Yeah, all of the Marines do get out, but again, he will sacrifice a medevac for that. That's not the worst thing in the world, though, for SpeCial. He did take out a couple of the SCVs, and now here comes the main fight. Cure, he's winning the battle in the air. He managed to land those disables on enough of the tanks. He completely wipes this attack from his plate.
He just shut everything down. With this, he's even trying to hunt down the last remaining Raven. The rest of the army is giving chase to SpeCial, and SpeCial, oh my god, he's gonna lose his tank.
He loses the tank, he loses his Raven. There's not much of a buffer here. Forced to land those Vikings just so he has some protection for his tank, but it is not going to be enough. Cure doesn't even siege up here. He takes out the rest of the army for SpeCial that was pushed into this fort location. Now, Cure, I don't think he can really push much. He can really push into this, but he's going to try to anyway.
He really shouldn't. As long as SpeCial does siege up, and he should be able to since he does have a sensor tower, he sees the tanks and move on forward. There we go, he does siege. It doesn't feel like there is enough buffer here to really move on forward for Cure. I say that, but here we go. He does have medevacs.
That he does. Does still have to respect the Marines here.
Does
Funnily
he?
enough, they are some of the best anti-air for Terran. Apparently not, because he's able to bait them right into siege range.
Oh,
SpeCial,
boy.
he's got the Vikings in the sky. What does he have on the ground? What does he have?
SCVs, mate.
I'm confused with that.
He's got SCVs on the ground as he does pull all the boys. Oh god, the Vikings were taken out. All the SCVs go down. There's only one remaining tank. GG gets called.
Cure gonna be taking that game super decisively, deflecting everything that SpeCial was trying to pull on him. And I feel like right at the end there, it really it's really impressive that Cure is able to sort of very quickly identify where do I need to place these Marines, let's say, to eke out the absolute most value. It's micro, it's technically micro, but it's not micro in the sense of, you're controlling these individual units. It's more like positioning micro.
Mm-hmm. Boy, that it is. And with that, we saw Cure use it to great effect. He already takes the lead in this series. But as a reminder, even a couple of people asking in the chat, this is a best of 5. So it's just only the first game. It isn't the biggest of deals. There's still plenty of room for SpeCial to work with to come back in this series.
He absolutely can. And you have to imagine SpeCial is one of those players who has a ton in his bag of tricks. He has so many builds. He theorizes with TY all the time. And he practices with time as well, actually, yeah.
He does.
I think they mentioned that, one of them mentioned that in the past, they practice with each other.
Boy, that they do, but will it be enough?
That we'll find out. As we continue the series on Romanticide LE. LE, of course, standing for Lovers Equinox. Lovers Equinox, as spring, I think, is already here, I think. Something along those lines. I don't know. I'm living in the tropics. We don't get those. Here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the bottom right-hand corner, the red Terran player coming down from the land of South Korea. He is going to be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. The winner of last week's ESL Open Cup Asia division. Can he continue that forward? It's looking very likely. He is looking scary so far in this tournament. Like, he is living in Sick City as he is the Cure.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Romanticide LE, we have the Mexican Terran player. He is blue. He is representing Team Exxon. It is SpeCial.
Team Exxon, or as I found out recently in the Spanish localization, Exxon Group. Which, once again, furthers my theory. They are a, what's it called? From the gas company, potentially.
That's not true at all.
However, they have similar names. One is Exxon, Team Exxon / Exxon Group. The other is Exxon Mobil.
Oh, there you go.
If they ever get like a car or what have you, like a team car, team limo, team bus, there we go. You think they could just go to the patrol station and say, "Yo, we're affiliated with you guys. Let's look at our name."
I don't think that's how it works. I don't. God damn it. If your name is John, you can't walk into Papa John's and be like, "Yo, I own this place."
Why not? You'd be like, "Yo, John's my dad. He's my papa. Mio Micah." Something like that.
God damn it. God damn it.
I thought I found a life hack, but yeah, apparently that's not really the case.
Oh boy, speaking of not being the case, can you get it? Can you get this video?
Just barely it lives. So important for SpeCial to have that second Reaper pop out in time.
That it is, as SpeCial is going across the map with the Reapers of his own. Did open up a little bit delayed with his natural expansion as he did prioritize the factory this time. A bit of a role reversal here in game number 2. And we'll see how much damage he can get done. CC, of course, already finishing up for Cure.
So he's not really going to be worried in that respect. There's still quite a lot that these Reapers can do. They can delay the starport at the very least. Which is why Cure is trying to get the anti-Reaper units out. Specifically the Hellion.
Oh, that he is, as he does barely have enough to push SpeCial out of his main base. So has to be careful here, dancing with his Hellions.
But has found a decent enough position, I would say. There's still a lot that SpeCial can do to break through on this. But I feel like Cure is a little bit in a better position. SpeCial, though, with much more firepower, will be able to bust on through.
Yeah, I was about to say, Marines are very fragile in this stage of the game, so we just see all of them going down, even the two that do pop out. Thankfully, he does lift up the building, the depot, just in time to close the door in SpeCial's face.
Slammed it. His face, he was trying to go on through. In a Papa John's.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, SpeCial, there's nothing really scary that can contend with this army, at least until that Cyclone pops out.
But even then, they can also avoid the Cyclone. The Reapers can, at the very least. Cyclone will be dealing with the Hellions, so yeah, Cure isn't going to have to worry about that for a while. But already 5 SCVs to go down, like 6 even. I feel like Cure, he really underestimated how badly SpeCial wanted to get damage done.
Yeah, exactly. SpeCial popping off here as at the same time the Hellions actually sneak into the natural because the Cyclones came back to defend. So much damage has been done. SpeCial taking the lead so far in terms of the workers in game number 2.
What a massive role reversal we've had here, Light. Now it's SpeCial being the first player to really pick Cure apart. There is a BC on the way. I got pretty excited, Light, because I saw the Liberator in the production tab.
I saw this
and I saw that, and I saw that Fusion Core. I thought, yes, we're getting range libs, but no, it seems like SpeCial is opting for BC mech this game.
That he is, as we do have the BC on the way. Meanwhile, oh my god, he's even committing to the Yamato, so he's looking to get even more than 1 BC out. Meanwhile, at the same time, we have the Banshee coming out here for Cure. And
yeah, this time, no Cyclone yet. Okay, 1 Cyclone out for SpeCial.
Yeah, unfortunately, just wasn't in position. It was at the natural, not in the main base, so Cure is going to be able to deal some economic damage here and even up.
Yeah, not quite equaling the losses, but evening up the workers at the very least. And Cure, he's always on top of his production in that regard.
Speaking of being on top of your production, Cure does scan the main base of SpeCial. He sees the Fusion Core researching. He knows BCs are on the way, and he is going to have to prepare himself for it. Oh my god, he's double expanding. He's got 2 CCs on the way. My god.
That is uber ballsy right now, especially when his only anti-air are Marines, a handful of Marines, and the Cyclone. Cyclone's doing a pretty good job so far, but not enough of a turn. Cyclones aren't quite Vikings, you could say.
Not quite. Meanwhile, there goes the Matrix that does disable all the attacks of the BC, and it does get pushed away. But again, Cure just being so greedy here this time, and so far I was going to say he was going to be punished for it, but no, he's going to be getting away with it, and SpeCial, he sees it and he goes for the Ninja.
Well, might as well.
I love it.
So
I love
important
it.
to be even in terms of the economy when it comes to a mirror matchup.
I was about to say, you see your opponent being greedy, then do so yourself. Except, like, throw another level, another thing on top of that. He's not just being greedy; he's being sneaky.
Yeah, I think the traditional mantra is if your opponent's being greedy, then you want to be aggressive, but it's a little bit difficult to do in a TvT.
Yeah, like the defender's advantage is so much more like exemplified here in TvT due to the tanks, to the nature of the tanks. So I do love what SpeCial is doing. Again, the likelihood of this being scouted is quite low. Oh my god, both players are actually playing mech.
I saw the mag field being researched by Cure, and I thought, all right, he's going to get this mag field to deal with the BCs that are coming this way. But then I saw a bunch more factories being thrown down, and I thought, well, here's hoping that it will at least be McLaren, you know, battle mech.
I mean, we are on romanticide, so I hope everyone you strap yourself in. We're going to be in here for half an hour at least. Oh boy, as both players are playing mech.
Ooh. Unfortunately, disabled just after the jump was used on this BC.
Interesting how interesting how it jumped, and then when it got to its location, it was matrixed.
Yeah. Well, the thing about Matrix is it doesn't quite shut down the systems. I think it just shuts down the driver's ability to use the systems.
There you go. As the BC is coming in, ooh, this Raven no energy, so a little bit too adventurous there, as it does get chipped away at, and this BC is dealing a decent amount of damage here in the natural.
It happened again.
Oh, it did. Shaking my goddamn head.
Definitely surprised that Cure isn't going for Vikings to try to deal with those BCs. Cyclones are very good defensively, especially when you can get those lock-ons on, but there's a lot of dead air on Romanticide that Special can make use of to try to break away from that lock-on.
That he can. Ooh, meanwhile, Cure, he has not scouted this face, and I thought he was just heading over just to check, but no, he is not. He is rotating towards the north side of the map, looking to try and catch this BC. This BC, I believe, is teleport. No, it is free. It is available.
Huh. This is Whack-A-Mole right now. Whack-A-BC. Cure's trying to play. But Special, he's turned the timer to very fast. I don't know, it's been a while since I played Whack-A-Mole. I don't know what it's called.
Have you even played Whack-A-Mole? Is that a thing that you've done?
When I was like 6.
God damn.
Got some tickets. I remember I got some tickets and I think I used it to buy wafers at the counter.
Oh. There you go. Meanwhile, ooh, this time...
There we go, disable before it can pop.
Finally, the disable goes off. Finally, one BC does go down. And, oh, the main armies are clashing here. Cure has to be careful. Oh, God, loses both Ravens.
Has to be very careful. Jeez.
Yeah.
Massive loss that happened over there. Yamato didn't finish up here for Special. Oh, right at the last second.
The BC does just barely go down, and Cure, I don't know how I feel about this. Like, he's down in supply, he's going to try and make something happen. The problem is that he just still doesn't realize that the entire time this ninja base has been mining Special. He's got plenty of gas to work with, plenty of money to work with. You see he's pushing out into the middle of the map.
Yeah, Cure's definitely used to being a very active player in TvT. Well, in general, but especially in TvT, he's used to being the aggressor, the player who's more active on the map trying to get something done. But he's getting pretty stymied here because of, one, the composition he went for, but two, the composition that Special went for.
Exactly, like, he's really struggling to deal with these BCs. Like, the BCs have just been so efficient for Special. Sure, 2 have gone down, but they've dealt so much damage in the process. Meanwhile, at the same time, Special will be losing this base.
And it is a fresher base.
Oh, God.
But here's the problem. Cure thinks that Special is now on 3 bases.
Exactly, when really Special's on 4, 5.
Yeah. 3.5. 5. Yeah, I don't think the CC went down.
Oh, boy. It didn't... Wait, okay, thank God.
No, okay, it did. That was barracks. Yeah, it was just a barracks.
Oh, thank God. Meanwhile, the BC did get dealt with. Ooh, meanwhile, we do have a Liberator coming in here as well for Special. Special just relentless with this aggression, with this harassment. It's not even that much.
The same path, too.
Yeah.
Carrot's not realized.
Ay.
Dios mío. But I do appreciate that Special is now going into Liberators. Just get the range.
Yeah, he already has a fusion core, no reason not to.
Yeah. Honestly, at this point. But the armies do converge now. Special leaving his tanks a little bit exposed. And it is only 2 tanks, so it's not the scariest thing.
Oh, no.
The Cure is dealing with right now. The Hellions! Rallied, and there's only 1 tank left here in the front lines for Special. Immediately, not actually going to get targeted down.
Oh, God,
so it's pretty strong.
Yeah, thankfully for Special, like, he was about to crumble there if the tank went down, but thankfully he did have enough buffer there to keep it alive. A 2nd tank joins the fray, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th mate. He has plenty of tanks, he just needs to bring them forward.
Really does at this point. Or does he? He has just enough to keep the army of Cure at bay. He doesn't want to get too much beyond that. No anti-air here for Special. It's only one Cyclone, 2 Cyclones there, and I do believe I heard a BC blink earlier on.
It did blink earlier on. Meanwhile, both of those Cyclones did go down. The BC is here to help deal with the Liberators, and it looks like it will just barely be enough to take them down.
Yeah, I think the Yamatos are cooldown. It's unfortunate over there, but now Special is taking a pretty decent defensive position. So many SUVs were lost earlier on, though.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Special, he kept the CC alive, unable to mine from that position.
Exactly. Now finally Cure has map control. Finally he can be the aggressor here. And it looks like he should be able to just barely take out this Liberator. That he does. And we can see Cure just skyrocket ahead. Like, he's expanding. Eventually he will find out about this space if he does send an SCV over. Yo, and that CC is actually dangerously low.
It really is. It's getting repaired. It's not getting repaired.
No!
Line. No! Range of one of these tanks. It will get lifted. It's gonna go down. Not fast enough under repair. SpeCial wasn't.
Yeah.
And look at that income plummet from him.
That was not meant to happen. Oh god, SpeCial, there was no reason for that. He had plenty of SCVs around, plenty of minerals to repair, but unfortunately it did slip his mind, and now he's gonna try and push out, and he will finally break free, but not before losing that base, and Cure has finally found that ninja.
They're sieging right on top of that. No! SpeCial teleported
No.
to PT! Might be able to Yamato one of these tanks? No. It's over here.
Exactly. SpeCial's gonna lose the ninja base. It's gonna go down. Meanwhile, he's just sending everything he has here to the third base of Cure, trying to do his best. But the problem is that the Liberators they're doing such a good job at pushing or just stemming the tide.
Honestly, yeah. Now, SpeCial's trying to pounce on top of them with his not Liberator, sorry, anti-Liberator unit, what's it called? Cyclones. He will be able to take him out, but how many units has he lost because of that? Now, he's lost his ninja base. He's losing the SCVs around there. Aye. That's all I have to really say here, Light.
Exactly, and you know what? Cure, he knows how to repair.
Shade being thrown.
Oh god, and with that, Cure will hold on to his base. At the same time, he's going for a bit of a counterattack. With these tanks, he should be able to, yes, push away the Ferrari mech of SpeCial. And SpeCial, like, he's struggling right now. I almost thought he flew over his main base. Honestly, he should probably fly over his main base to take a fourth base, as he's on 3 bases on essentially 1 base economy.
He's long distance mining from so much. He's almost mined out from a lot of his bases here. He's got 3 CCs, but because of how the mineral patches line up, yeah, he's basically only mining from 1 base.
Oh, but you know what? Maybe he can make something happen here. The army of Cure was a little bit out of position. He does focus down the CC, but Cure does reposition just barely in time.
Yeah, and honestly, a decent spread here on his units. He sacrificed a lot to take out the buffer for these tanks, but now that it's gone, he is free to rain hellfire from above. GG is called Cure. Now on match point, that was supposed to be a much longer game, Light.
It was, and to be fair, I believe it was longer than the first game, but
it was at least twice as long.
Yeah, and honestly, SpeCial was looking in a really good position for the majority of that game, but then suddenly things swung in Cure's favor when Cure was able to just destroy two bases, one after the other, and SpeCial just couldn't recover from there.
Yeah, you know what they say about a spring, where you compress it, and then you either break it or it bounces back. Cure did the latter.
Bounce back?
Yeah. Bounce back strong, but now SpeCial is gonna have to be the one to see if he can do that. And real quick before we get into this game, thank you very much, Garbo Ham, for the 11-month resub.
Quack.
Crack.
Quack.
Scrap.
Quack quack.
Is that counted as 1 or 2?
That's 2.
Okay.
Let's count.
Or an 8.
Quack.
Crack.
Quack.
There we go, 11 months. I was gonna go into a whole thing, but I realized, oh wait, it's only 11 months.
Oh god. Okay, thank you so much for the support, Garberhand, for all those weeks, or sorry, all those months, even more weeks. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy your ducks. Hope you enjoy your new emotes. I know it's been a while since we've seen you in the chat, but we now have a beautiful platypus.
Yeah, and a mariachi duck.
We do.
Which is pretty fitting for this particular matchup, as here on Oxide, potentially the last map of this best of 5 semifinals. Here at the top right hand corner, map spawning all the way to the top right hand corner, a red Terran player coming down from the land of South Korea. He is going to be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. He is not the prevention. He is living in Six City. He is Cure.
Would Cure live in Six City?
Yeah, he's trying to cure it. Or maybe he's trying to take over Six City.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Oxide LE, we have the Mexican Terran player. He is blue. He's representing Team Exxon. Currently down 0-2 in this best of 5 semifinals. Can he even put a point on the board? Give him your energy. Spam those Doritos for Juanito.
Six City, by the way, it's where Detective Max Angel transfers to in the 3rd season, I imagine. Like,
yeah.
You need to find this wanted criminal.
Oh god.
Cure. Or is Cure an anti-hero? I don't know. We'll figure it out.
He could be an anti-hero. He could be. I feel like Cure would be the enemy of Six City.
He would, but then again, you also find out that Six City isn't exactly clean.
It's corrupt.
Bottom up. That's why he's trying to cure it.
There you go. Oh boy. And we'll see how this goes. Like, oh god, I don't know how much stock I want to put into these openers because, like, again, SpeCial was looking so good in the previous game. Like, his BC harassment was on point. It was on point with all his teleports as well. Like, somehow, some way, he was able to dodge the matrixes. It was crazy. But in the end, even that wasn't enough, even with the economic advantage of having a ninja base.
Well, it really does just go to show you the type of player that Cure is in these scenarios, right? He will not allow his opponents to take... He will not allow his opponents to just avalanche their snowballs, so to speak. He is always looking to take control. And as long as he finds just one path to get it, he'll find it.
Yeah, exactly. He is relentless like that. Whatever it takes, he'll find the cure. And SpeCial, he's gotta do something different here. As we do see, this is a pretty similar opener to what he went for in game number 1, going for that Widowmine defensively here on top of the ramp. Just making sure that Cure doesn't, be overly aggressive. Meanwhile, Cure, he didn't. He went for a faster natural, so he's just kind of chilling at home.
Yeah. Well, unfortunate how it panned out here for SpeCial, but he's not exactly behind either. Potentially a Cyclone? No. Yes? Question mark?
Oh. What? Huh. As it looks like SpeCial is looking to be the aggressor here, picking up even that Widowmine that he made earlier, just heading across the map. And we'll see how much damage he can get done, especially since Cure did invest in this Banshee. The Banshee, looking to harass across the map, relying on just a handful of Marines to defend. And depending on how good that Widowmine shot is, SpeCial, he can make something happen.
Absolutely. Ideally, it'd take out the Sky unit, whether it's a Banshee or whether it's a Raven coming out of here, but we'll definitely see. I like that Cure has sort of retreated before he really knew what SpeCial was throwing his way. Decent mine hit, gets a couple of SCVs and a quick evacuation. Not enough anti-air here to really prevent that.
Yeah, and if there isn't enough anti-air, then SpeCial could try and dive back in with that Widowmine. Ooh, but Cure, he's hunting it.
Oh, brilliant use of dead air.
Oh, nice moves there by SpeCial. He was able to break that lock on from the Cyclone, able to just barely escape with his last remaining units.
But Cure, he's locked on. He wants that medevac, or to try to have at least something happen here. On the other side of the map, he's pulling all of his Marines as well, and he's not going for multi-prongs this time with that Banshee. He needs it for the extra DPS. Okay, now he is going for multi-prongs.
He is sending the Banshee over, and this is a little bit dangerous because again, like SpeCial, I'm sure he feels pressured right now to keep a Cyclone with his main army, instead of keeping it in the natural in case there is a bit of a counterattack. So Cure, he could deal some damage here. The Banshee, it does go in, and that Cyclone, it is in the natural.
Indeed, it is. There will be a handful of SCVs that Cure will be able to get here, not even bothering to escape with the Banshee. He knows that that's a dead Banshee, so he just gets even more SCV kills. 6 of them go down. Cure taking a very comfortable lead, unable to really push into SpeCial at the moment. That's a very good defensive setup that he's got. But still, 8 worker advantage, not at all something to underestimate.
Yeah, and again, it's like, hey, he's got like 2 tanks defensively. That's great. You always have to put an asterisk on that because sure, he could have 2 tanks sieged up, but a Raven with a Matrix can change that entirely, especially since he is unsieged, looking to maybe go across the map with these medevacs.
Yeah, trying to at the very least. Cure will scan to confirm that Special is staying at home for the time being. And now Special sees Cure's army once again. He knows that Cure is looking to take absolute complete control. Hasn't seen that third base being built yet.
Ooh,
it's definitely massive.
And a really bold choice here by Special. He's confident that he can defend at home with these minimal amount of units, and he picks everything else up and goes across the map.
Yeah, he's definitely hoping that Cure overstays his welcome, so to speak.
Well, he's hoping that Cure doesn't push in. He's like,
exactly.
There's not a lot here to really defend against the tanks, and as a result, like, Cure, he backs off, he doesn't take the bait, and Special, he goes across the map.
A lot of Marines with Stim over here will chew through the SCVs. Will not quite take the worker lead yet, but he will equalize the worker losses. Unfortunately, the tank earlier on shelled away at a decent chunk of the Marines, and of course the Vikings just cleared out one of the medevacs. So could have been a lot worse here for Cure.
Yeah, it definitely could have. I mean, Cure, he was forced to go back home, so Special is free from that contain. Unfortunately for Special, Cure was able to harass a little bit and delay the third base of Special, so it's still not quite completed, as the SCV did go down earlier. Meanwhile, Cure is back to mining at this third base, and now it's on Special to try and make something happen here with these 10 tanks.
Yeah, there's no way he can catch up in economy unless he deals more damage to Cure. He finished up that orbital command. He's got a lot of potential SCVs being produced, and he's got a lot of mule potential as well.
Oh god, that he does, and we'll see what happens here as, again, they both have Ravens available to them. They both have plenty of energy.
And there we have it. Cure being a little bit quicker on the disables will be able to get 4 of these tanks. There's only one of Cure.
Yeah, and unfortunately there wasn't really a follow-up because of the positioning of the two armies and these rocks in between them. I'm sure Q would have loved to have pounced on top of those tanks with his with his Marines, but unfortunately wasn't really available there, the option was. And yeah, as a result, Special, sure, he loses a bit in that engagement, but he still got plenty of army.
He definitely does. He kept most of his tanks alive despite the interference matrices that were thrown down. He does have one more left available to him, if my eyes do not deceive me.
Oh, that he does, but he has to be careful. Again, that Raven is so close to going down. He has to babysit it hard. Oh my god, he picks up. He's going for a drop.
Going for a absolutely massive drop coming on over here. Good positioning on those tanks. Maybe not quite as close as Special would like them to, but once he sees that missile turret, just unwilling to really overstay his welcome.
Yeah, he doesn't commit. Again, he's maybe fearful that there were more turrets there, not just that one. So he ends up pulling back. At the same time, he was getting set up to hit the third base at the same time to try and distract the army, but in the end, just thinks better of it and backs off.
Yeah, regroup with his main army. Get a bit of a better location to attack.
Yeah, as he just consolidates his forces. Again, I'm sure a lot of that does come down to the center tower finishing up, so if Special does go for a counterattack here at the third, Cure will have plenty of times to respond and react, and in the end, you know, he just kind of chills, backs off, and just smackers up.
Yeah, he needs to get a fourth base up, though. Because again, Special was at the macro disadvantage for so long this game, having that third base delayed for a long time. Now Cure even finishing up his own fourth base.
Yeah.
Just as Special barely overtakes the worker lead.
That he does, but the Wintermine does get taken out.
The tanks do help out a ton. Cure's losing just about every single one of his Marines here, but so many tanks light. They do clean out most of the Marines for Special over here, but there are plenty of reinforcements on the way. And Cure, he's got a Viking lead. He's winning the air battle, but there's nothing for him on the ground. For the first time in this series, the tables have finally turned.
Yeah, that they have. Special, though. He does siege up, you know, a little bit behind, and as you were saying, there are no tanks whatsoever for Cure. He does have one just barely being pumped out from his production, and it looks like he will be able to siege up in time. Will it be enough to hold on to his third?
Well, it will deter most of the army of Special from moving in here. And he's reducing 2 at a time, not neglecting his factory production whatsoever. And I feel like that was just enough time that Cure's bought for himself to get even more tanks out, get an even better defensive position here.
Yeah,
honestly, it was
honestly,
shaky already, but keeping this air dominance absolutely helping him out.
Yeah, definitely. Again, as oh god, especially he just loses every single one of his Marines, and that allows the opportunity for Cure to just pounce on top of these tanks and does take out 2 of them.
I feel like he took out a little bit more than that, but I lost count, to be honest. And sure, Cure's lost some of his Marines, but he's taken out enough of specials to prevent him from really moving in. He has remade his tank count, so he has no fears of special moving into him. Unfortunately, lost a lot of his Vikings. He's making Liberators now, but while he's technically ahead on the Viking count now, it's nowhere near as dominant as he once was.
Yeah, and finally, Cure can go for a bit of counterattacks, as Special for the most part has been the one applying pressure here. And earlier, like, it was just really bold of Cure to push up this ramp into pre-siege tanks of Special. Like, that's where the supply really swung from Cure to in favor of Special there. And it kind of threw away that supply lead. We'll see if he does so again. Again, this is really ambitious. God, he scans, he
okay,
sees.
He scans. He scans, he sees.
Does he care?
5 tanks. That's definitely going to be a massive question mark that we're going to be having here. He doesn't have Ravens this time. Okay, he picks up his Marines. Super important for him. He knew that Special didn't have enough Vikings here. So he will take out a couple of tanks. And he does have enough Marines still alive. Problem is, Special has a massive ball of Marines that are looking to hit somewhere here.
That they are. Meanwhile, those Liberators that we saw earlier did go down to turrets. As this missile turret here does have a kill on it. So unfortunately, the Liberators weren't able to deal much across the map. Ooh, but that Viking count, that Viking superiority that Cure has, taking well advantage of it.
He is being so aggressive with it as well. They're like sharks on the hunt. He knows he has the advantage there, so he's just trying to pick off whatever air units he can, whether it's lone Vikings or whether it's medevacs. Now, once again, Cure with the air dominance, but he lost so many Marines, like...
Oh god, that he did.
They blocked by the tanks. I think they were trying to retreat a little.
Yeah, maybe there's an opportunity here for Cure to pounce on top of the tanks of Special, but Special does reposition. He does cover his tanks with his Marines. Oh, Cure taking a couple of free shots there by the tanks of Special.
I feel like we've had too much gimmicky TvT in the series so far. Like, this is a classic Marine tank positioning war.
That it is. I'm just waiting to see which one of them is going to feel confident enough to switch into Liberators. It feels like Special has given up on the Vikings.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be pretty tough to get ahead on the Viking Cup when you know you're at a disadvantage. Mass Marine, I mean, you don't want to underestimate that. If your opponent has a very good tank siege up location, then sure, there's not a lot that they're going to be able to do, but that's rarely going to be the case here when you're applying as much pressure as Special is. Yeah,
exactly. Meanwhile, we do have Special trying to push into the natural location. At the same time, that drop does move over to the third of Special.
Yeah, oh, that medevac full of Marines does get taken out. The tanks are now siege freely, but there's a very nice split of the Marines. And the SCVs, you know, 7 of them will go down, but that is much preferable for Special than a whole entire mineral line.
Oh god, that it is, and now Special with this lead, we'll see what he can do with it. It looks like he's trying to collapse upon these stray tanks of Cure.
Beautiful concave coming out from Special, and he will be able to pick him off for the first time in this entire series. I want to say Cure is now heavily on the back foot, does not have control of the game.
No, none whatsoever. But again, like, we keep talking about that defensive position that Terrans have, like Special, he still has to respect the army of Cure, but he picks up, he realizes, hey, you lost all your Vikings, I can go for a drop.
Or at least reinforce my position much better. Try to bait a couple of Marines into position as well. Nice using the medevac for vision here for Cure, but fortunately, once again, Special, better army lead.
Yeah, that he does. He does have the higher tank count as well. Meanwhile, Cure, it looks like he's the one who's going to go for a drop here.
Yeah, trying to bounce on top of those tanks, it looks like. But an awkward time to pick up, though, as Special does posture around. Barracks in a very vulnerable position over there, and now once again, Special try to go for this massive drop. There's a tank in position, though.
Well, there is a single tank in position, but it is not enough to stop the drop. The missile turret does go down, and now Special is able to establish himself here in the natural.
such an unfortunate timing for Cure to have, picked up his Marines, and actually he didn't drop them for a while either earlier on. So yeah, there was definitely an opportunity for him to try to pick off those medevacs while the drop was happening, but just, I guess, underestimated. SpeCial here. He is cleaning up the defense though, to be fair, losing a couple of SCVs, but I think that is the least of his concerns right now for Cure.
Yeah, that it is. Oh god, no, Cure, he's losing a couple of Vikings for free. Being a little bit
bloodlust is getting to him.
Again, just a little bit too ambitious there with those Vikings. Oh my god. Meanwhile, at the same time, the missed rally SpeCial loses 2 tanks for free.
And that's definitely a start for Cure to retake control of this game. He's got the better upgrades for the time being. Oh, Marine Bombardment, not going to be happening. As Cure very quick to reposition.
Yeah, that he does. Thankfully, SpeCial didn't commit to that. Otherwise, he may have lost that entire medevac full of Marines. Ooh, meanwhile, Cure repositions. Where's the scan?
I don't think it's the energy for it, but the Vikings do come in to provide some energy. I say some.
Some vision.
Vision, yeah.
Yeah, and there we go. Cure does outposition SpeCial there. Pick off a couple more tanks for free. So Cure, he's like trading more efficiently. At the same time, though, SpeCial, he is moving in with his Marines.
And a decent number of tanks. A bit of an unfortunate fight that SpeCial took over there, losing a few more Marines that I'm sure he'd have liked to.
Yeah, and you know what? With that, Cure, he equalizes in terms of army supply. He brought himself back in. Slowly over time, he was able to trade more efficiently, and SpeCial just slipping up a little bit too many times, and now things have evened out.
That said, I think SpeCial is in a slightly better position macro-wise. Yeah, he is mining from that 5th base, it seems, whereas Cure only now getting his own. Oh, actually, he transferred the
main.
Okay, they both transferred their mains over.
Yeah, they both flew their mains over. What's a little bit worrisome is that Cure does have the upgrade advantage. Both have 3-3, but Cure has been working on his vehicle upgrades. Meanwhile, SpeCial has completely neglected them.
Yeah, these tanks from SpeCial are definitely going to hit quite a lot harder. You never want to underestimate vehicle upgrades either for the tanks. I mean, it means that there's one less volley that they have to. Oh no, not the volley, sorry. It means that the splash damage is a lot better for these tanks. Normally what happens is, one tank will kill a Marine and then bring the rest of the Marines down to basically 0 health. But, when you have the upgrades, you can just kill the Marines.
Yeah, speaking of killing Marines, the planetary does go down. The repairs were not enough because there were so many tanks. Meanwhile, Cure is going to try and catch the army as it retreats.
Yeah, try to, I think, being the key word. SpeCial not really sieging up yet. Very good siege here for Cure, and all of the Marines are taken out, and here comes the Marine Bombardment line. Every single tank of SpeCial gonna be taken out. How did that happen?
Made SpeCial overconfident. Cure, he allowed his planetary to go down for the better positioning, and with that, he just takes out the entire army of SpeCial. Suddenly, everything swings in favor of Cure, and now he can just keep going. What does SpeCial have? He has a single tank to defend.
Ay, Dios mío, gracias. Oh, no, gracias. I'm copying Milk here. Dios mío, Santa Maria, something along those lines.
The tank goes down. The last remaining defensive tank of SpeCial. SpeCial has a couple more tanks, but they're out in the middle of the map. They're all over the place. He's not prepared for the defense, and now Cure is pushing on forward.
They're spotters, that's what they are.
They are, man.
Enough of his Marines alive to have just enough of a buffer for his tanks. And they are cleaning house here for Cure, taking out every Marine just as they pop in. It seems like
Cure just has so much momentum going for him. He's just rallying across the map at this point. Like, he can just aim it if he wants to. There's only 2 tanks here remaining. One of them of SpeCial's almost dead here, and SpeCial, he's trying his best to hold on, but those 2 tanks we were talking about, those spotters that were taken out,
I mean, prevented a couple of reinforcements from coming this way, I like to imagine.
Oh, they got sieges! No, puppy! No!
Oh. Just the most unfortunate time to unsiege over here, and Cure, he is making massive headway. So many tanks, and they're so well spread out. GG's call. Cure, he had to fight for that final game, but a clean sweep does happen. Wowie papi.
Cure does take the series 3-0 over SpeCial.
It looks so much in SpeCial's favor in that last game too.
Yeah, I mean, SpeCial, it did feel like he was trading a little bit. I don't know if I want to say he was trading favorably. It was Cure taking pretty bad engagements. He would push up ramps into pre-siege tanks. He would go in, you know, with air superiority, sure, but maybe overconfident with that and lose a couple of free Vikings here and there. But in the end, Cure just needed that one big fight where he just swallowed up the army of SpeCial, and that was enough to just really get the ball rolling. And as you were saying, it turned into from a snowball into an avalanche.
All that momentum.
That it did. And now with that, Cure advances on to the grand finals, and we have a TvZ.
Yeah, we do, and it is not going to be just any TvZ. Cure versus Dark. Some of the absolute best of their races here.
That they are, and it's also a team kill. This team kill is becoming a little bit common. As last week it was Zest versus Cure. This time, Cure versus Dark.